Good evening and welcome to a live stream from my kitchen here in Crummy Bum Valley. I'm Harry Bolman, and of course this is Vegan Life, as you can tell by the mug and the shirt and the sign and and everything else. And I'm coming to you live tonight from my kitchen, so it's nice and relaxing here. There's no vegan hour on tonight. We do it once a fortnight, so this is the off week for the vegan hour. So I thought I would celebrate something else instead. Thank you for Gabrielle, Rajneen, and Luba for coming online. So just have a little bit of a, I'll just take it easy here until a few more people come online. Jane, thank you for coming online. What I'm doing this live stream for tonight is two reasons, is to celebrate an achievement or a milestone that I've never done before in my life, and also to put up for debate and to discuss the pros and cons of which is better, a juice or a smoothie. Having said that, I'm actually having a juice at the moment. It's really nice too, beautiful, sweet, but I'm getting the taste of carrot coming through there, and the green apple, really nice. So this is the 10th day of my juice and smoothie fast. This is the first time that I've ever achieved this record of fasting beyond 7 days. In the past, way back in the 1980s, I fasted on water only for 7 days. And I also did a couple of shorter fasts of 3 to 4 days. And, you know, I didn't find them particularly easy. And I was always thinking about food. And this is something I discussed during a live stream on day 7 when I was riding my bicycle on Saturday. So, but just to go, if you haven't seen that live stream, just basically, I found it quite difficult at the time. And so the fast that I've been doing for the last 10 days is a juice and smoothie fast, which is relatively a hell of a lot easier. I still find it difficult in that there's still a strong desire to want to eat food coming up and coming and going, but it is relatively easier to do a juice or a smoothie fast than it is to do a water or a dry fast. The most extreme is a dry fast. Joanne says, you're starting tomorrow. Excellent. That was Joanne. Excellent, Joanne. That is fantastic. That's good luck. Do you have, Joanne, do you have a length of time you're aiming for? And what type of fast are you doing? Are you doing a juice or a smoothie or both? So tonight I'm celebrating 10 days, which is, I'm actually quite proud of the fact that I've come this far. I didn't think I'd make 10 days. I sort of aimed for 7. Sort of, roughly. And once I got there, Jane is on her 2nd day. Excellent. Greg says, great stuff, Harry. Thank you for the comments, guys. So yes, I didn't sort of know that I would make 7 days or not, but that was sort of what I wanted to aim for in some way, because that was what I'd done previously on water. So now that I've made it 10 days, I'm really stoked. So the reasons I want to just go through before we get on to talking about some of the research, because what I've done a couple of days ago, I thought I really need to research this, because I've just basically started doing juices and smoothies from 2 weekends ago, from the Sunday morning 2 weekends ago, without really sort of researching it and going into it, you know, too much. So let's just bring me up a bit closer there. There we go. So I started researching it. I've looked at the pros and cons of juices and smoothies, but let's just look at why I've decided to do this. For me personally, I found that I had very sluggish digestion, and it's something I've been working on for the last few years in various different ways. Joanne says, mainly juice with 1 protein shake. I've done 3-day liquids before, but want to go a week. Oh yeah, Joanne, if you want to get the amazing maximum benefit, I highly recommend juice. I also recommend not having the protein shake. You won't get the maximum benefit having it, but that's entirely up to you, of course. So for me, I was having, I had weight gain over the last 18 months, especially, you know, around the middle of the body here, around the belly. And I'd noticed that I was really sort of eating a lot and eating constantly. And also that my digestion was sluggish, so that, you know, there were symptoms of that. And Jane says, you are only doing the juices. Good on you, Jane. That'll work really well. I'm going to get into talking about the pros and cons of juices and smoothies in a moment. So for me, I wanted to see if maybe doing what they would call a reboot would actually help with this situation. So that's what I've actually aimed for, is doing like a reboot. And the reboot is not just a physical thing. It's also a psychological thing. So it's to work with the fact that I was eating a lot, and I needed to sort of reset up here psychologically as well as a physical reset. So so basically, one of the reasons why, I mean, the best type of fasting, it can be debated, but the best type of fasting is Joanne says, can you add chia seeds? Joanne, I was adding chia seeds in the beginning until I found out, I had somebody comment on one of my posts saying that that was not beneficial at all. And I've had other research done that shows that as well. And I will read something from a nutritionist friend of mine about that. So best to leave it out, just go straight juices. And also I'll mention the combinations that are really good to go with as well. So basically, the best type of fasting to do, I mean, a fast, when you say fast, for me, the word fast actually means just having water, cutting out all food, just having water. And that's really giving the body a chance to reset itself. Now, it's hard to do that and still be working at the same time. And because you're really going to be going through withdrawal symptoms, headaches, depending on what condition of health you're in when you started the fast. You could be going through extreme weakness, tiredness, difficulty concentrating, etc. So it is easier if you're having an active life and you haven't taken a week off to sort of do your fast or whatever. It's easier to still run your life and do juices and smoothies, or juices or smoothies. So there is a debate, which I won't go into tonight, as to dry fasting, which my PA has done 2 dry fasts of 11 days each. So I've seen personally the effect it has on someone. And I can't recommend dry fasting. It's extreme, and I don't believe that we should go without any liquids for that length of time. But there are many people around the world that swear by it. So dry fasting is another alternative, but it's not something I would recommend. So during these, so what I found is, because I'm an all or nothing sort of person, it's relatively easy for me to either eat or not eat in a way. To do half and half is hard. Like some people juice and then they have some meals as well. That to me is like, if I'm going to start having meals as well as juicing, then I'm just going to keep wanting to eat. So it really had to be this hard, like, no, don't think about eating food at all. Take that out of your mind and just concentrate on getting the nutrients through the juices and the smoothies. So when I started, I concentrated mainly on the smoothie, so I get the feeling of fullness and feeling like I felt like I was eating. And I've now transitioned over this 10 days to concentrating more on the juices, and that transition is occurring more so, and dropping back on the smoothies. So, excuse me. So, so during the last 10 days, I've been working my regular job, full-time job, 7.5 hours a day. I've been riding the bicycle to and from work every day. I've been riding recreationally on the weekend. Sunday just gone, I did 70 kilometers. Saturday, I did about 40-something kilometers. So I've still had the energy to do this. Despite, in fact, I've had probably better energy and better performance, but in combination with sometimes feeling lightheaded. So it's an interesting combination. I've been doing yoga. I did yoga last night. I did it the Monday night before, and my yoga is definitely better. on this fast. Daily meditation that I do every day, live streams that I've been doing on the bicycle, live streams that I've been doing for other people, mantra meditation, socializing, basically, and all the stuff that I do online, basically keeping the usual amount of busyness that I do. As my PA says, I never seem to stop. She says, she can't keep up, I'm always doing things. So I bet it's not, so this being on the juices and the smoothies has enabled me to do this. Now, some of the symptoms, I just want to get into some of the symptoms, and then I'll start talking about the juices versus smoothies. But some of the symptoms that I noticed, the detoxing happening on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday last week, quite strongly on my skin. I was starting to get quite a strong skin detox, really flaky, almost eczema sort of, sort of thing. And now it's looking pretty good now. So I mean, that's a seriously sexy head, but that was an indication that things were starting to happen with the body, and that there was a detoxing happening. So that was a week ago. I was initially last week also, when I was more on the smoothies, initially I was getting lightheaded quite a lot as well. So especially at work, and I was sort of feeling good. The thing is that my mood has been really good, but the energy mightn't have been matching it. I've noticed I was getting out of breath easily, and so I wasn't getting the calories I needed. I wasn't getting the nutrients I needed, and I was getting a little bit lightheaded. So this is where I started to think I've got to research this a bit more. I spoke to some people to get some more information. I've been losing weight loss. I've been losing an average of half a kilogram per day. So this is day 10. I've lost 5 kilograms, which is getting me back into the range of what I should be for my height. And I haven't been doing any working out other than morning push-ups and sit-ups. So I haven't been straining or stressing the body too much. So I'm probably also losing muscle as well. But I am doing the bicycle riding, so that is keeping me fit there. So okay. So tonight the question is, which is best, juice or smoothie? Well, you'll be interested in my answer to this one. There are people on both sides. I've done quite a bit of research on this in the last couple of days. That was a good juice. There are people on both sides of the camp. Let's just have a look at the pros and cons. Juice. The beauty about juicing is, if you are having digestive issues like I was having, for whatever reason that you're having digestive issues, juicing is fantastic. Juicing is getting the nutrients into the bloodstream really quickly, or into the digestive system, or past the digestive system into the bloodstream really quickly. And it's not upsetting the digestive system too much. It's allowing you to still get nutrients, to still function, and not upset the digestive system too much. And the reason it does that is because it removes a lot of the fiber. But here's the first myth. Juicing doesn't remove all the fiber. There's a lot of people that say it removes fiber, and that's why it's not good for you in some ways. It actually retains the soluble fiber. So that's an interesting thing that not many people mention, but I did come across that. But juicing, if you're aiming for weight loss, juicing is better for weight loss. So it delivers nutrients faster. It's better for weight loss. You will get more energy, clearer skin, and I have read that you will expel more toxins through the juicing. The disadvantage is you will get a blood sugar spike. So after a juice, well, the initial hit of the juice is fantastic. Like I'm going to do some juicing at the end here tonight. I have the first swig of the juice. I'm like, wow, that is awesome. It's just like it's like a drug. It's amazing. So, but then it's like anything that boosts you up, there's the other side of it. So then you can fall off the other side, like if you had sugar or something, and an hour later, half an hour later, whatever, depending on the speed of your metabolism, you can just be like, starting to feel a little bit like you need another hit, sort of thing. So so it is recommended. I think Joe Cross recommends 5 to 6 juices a day on his Reboot system of about 600 mils of juice, I think, 600 mils per juice. So he recommends that sort of amount, and that would probably help. The other thing to help with the blood sugar spike is to stay away from too many fruits in your juice, and also stay away from too many starchy vegetables and that as well. So that's important. Your combinations are important. Now, one of the other disadvantages of juicing is it uses a hell of a lot of product. A hell of a lot of product. I eat organic, which means that I go to the markets on a Saturday, buy all organic food. Juicing at the moment, if I was doing it fully organic, I reckon it would wipe me out financially. I mean, I just had to top up. I bought organic fruit and veggies on Saturday. Last night, I had to race down the supermarket after yoga and top up again with a whole heap of fruits and veggies and I thought, geez, if I buy this organic, I'm going to be doing this a few times this week. It's going to add up. So it does cost a lot more, and it does waste a lot more. And Lindy says you should look at John Rose on YouTube. Thank you, Lindy. I'll check out John Rose. Thank you. So the cost and the product with juicing, you use a hell of a lot. So it is not efficient, and it produces obviously a lot of waste. I mean, you can compost that. There are people that turn that into, they dehydrate the pulp and turn it into dehydrated bickies or something like that. You can do that. That's a possibility. But there is that component of it. There is also the fact that juicing is time inefficient. It's easy to put it in the juicer, I'm pointing to it there, back there. It's easy to put it in the chute, but then you've got to, depending on the juice you're using, I'm using a wide mouth Breville. So I can do a whole medium-sized apple, boom, straight down the chute. Brilliant. Don't have to cut it. So there's not much cutting involved in using the wide mouth juices, but the cleaning afterwards. Luckily, I have a PA. So I don't have to clean it, but that's a component. So now smoothies retain all the fiber, including the insoluble fiber that juices remove. So smoothies have got all that in there. So you get more fiber, obviously, and more nutrients, but you get them over a slower period of time. So they're actually good for the blood sugar. So you don't get a spike, you get a slower, even release. That's great. A slow, even release of nutrients is great. However, if you're having digestive issues, you're going to find that hard to digest because it's like having a liquid meal. So it's going to not particularly help you in a digestive sense because, I mean, it'll be better than trying to eat the whole food. It'll be easier on your digestion, but nowhere near as easy as juices. It will also help you to feel full. In fact, when I started off with smoothies, because I was still really in the food craving mode, my smoothies initially were not particularly brilliant because I was doing a lot of fruit smoothies because I wanted a real sweet taste. There was like a sugar addiction happening there, so I wanted a really sweet taste. So I was doing a lot of fruit smoothies, and the combinations weren't the best. Banana with melon banana is not a great combiner with anything, as my friend Lena has told me. I think it was Lena that told me that. And combined with melon is not a great combination at all. So that wasn't particularly good. And then with my green smoothies, which I've actually been doing for a year now, I was adding cacao powder to that. So that wasn't helping with any detoxing or with any digestive thing to any extent. So I was also putting in chia seeds and turmeric. Well, the turmeric's okay. I haven't heard anyone say it's not. But I've taken out the chia seeds and the cacao powder to get a maximum detoxifying effect. Kate says, just wondered, would you consider a NutriBullet a juice as it contains everything and no waste? No, it's not a juice. That's definitely a smoothie, a blended. They call them a blended juice is the marketing term, but it's a smoothie. So the smoothies are definitely more efficient. They're more affordable. They're more efficient. smoothie over there, my smoothie machine, which is a Philips, and they're awesome. I've got a couple of those Philips. They're fantastic machines. Way more efficient. I mean, you just take, well, actually, if you're doing celery, you do have to chop it up in a smoothie, whereas in the juice it's straight in. But you know, you're getting the whole. You're not wasting anything. You're getting the whole food there, the whole vegetable or fruit that you put in. Lindy says melons should always be used in isolation. Exactly, Lindy. Yes, exactly. I do green juices with sugarcane juice, lots of greens and turmeric too. Excellent. Excellent. I'm still not convinced on sugarcane juice, but I know you're a big fan of it, Lindy. So, so finishing up with smoothies. Smoothies are convenient, easier, faster to make and clean up. I mean, you just wash the jug out. I mean, it's, you know, you just put everything in there, put a bit of water in, spin it for a few minutes to get it nicely sort of mixed up, and then, you know, pour it into your flask or your cup or whatever, and just, you know, wash it up. And yeah, I do wash that up because that's easy. So now, a couple of the things I came across. So that's okay. That's juices versus smoothies. Let's move on to combinations. Now, according to Joe Cross, if you've ever watched Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, which came out, I think, in 2011, maybe 2009, somewhere around there, I found that incredibly inspiring. If you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it. You could probably see it for free or something. Oh, yes, and Emma's asking, have I ever heard of moringa? Yes, I have heard of moringa. I've heard very highly of moringa. I was taking it for a while, yes. I know it's grown in North Queensland, I think, and yes, I believe it is, well, it is meant to be very, very good, and I was taking it, it's a few years back now, and I haven't had any since then. Yes, Lindy says bananas and berries are lovely in smoothies. I should have taken a photo of the smoothie I had before the live stream. It was bananas, strawberries, blueberries, and a bit of melon. Geez, it was nice. It was so sweet. Anyway, according to Joe Cross from Fat, Sick and Nearly Dead, you should juice mostly veggies for more nutrients. However, there's a few different schools of thought here, so just stick with me. Joe says 80% veggies, 20% fruit for stable fruit sugar. So that's going to help the fruit, reduce the fruit sugar spike in your juices. So Joe Cross is just talking juices, not smoothies, right? And he said, no, not him, some other source I got to said, best to not combine fruit and vegetables unless it's apples. Apples combined with anything, apparently. But Joe doesn't seem to have that issue. He's saying you can combine 80% veggie, 20% fruit. And if you're worried about combinations, if you're doing 6 juices during the day, do 2 of them fully fruit and the other 4 fully vegetables. That's another way of doing it. I certainly recommend you check out Joe's website, Reboot with Joe Cross. I found it very, very interesting. A lot of good information on there. Now, my friend Lena has sent me just so much information. She's over in Germany at the moment. She sent me so much information in the last day. I wasn't even able to get it into my head in time for this live stream. But I saw you come online there earlier. I hope you're still watching, Lena. Thank you very much for all that information. I'm going to actually read out something that you sent me, which is really, really, very interesting. Barbara says, Steve said he will give you some moringa seeds Sunday. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. That's great. And you'll have to tell me how you use them. Tell me on Sunday. This is from Lena, who knows her nutrition and has been just giving me so much information, as I say. She says, I would go heavy on the fruits. Now, this is in contrast to what Joe Cross says, who says go heavy on the veggies. And she gives the reason for this. She says, vegetables have more of an alkalizing than a detoxifying effect, which can be good, but you want the astringent powers of fruit. A vegetable juice fast is going to hydrate you and make the body a bit more alkaline, which in itself will trigger a small detox response. But fruits are where the power is at. They pull out acids from deep inside the tissues, which is what you want. I believe people are recommending vegetables over fruits because they are still afraid of sugar. But fruit sugars are good for you. They also can't hurt your pancreas, as fructose enters the cell by diffusion and does not need insulin as a carrier. This is pretty interesting. Just two more sentences. I would personally combine high fruits with possible some green juices and herbal tinctures for most people. It can be helpful to see a picture of the iris before determining a program, though, as some things should be addressed differently in certain health conditions. Yes. And let's make a note of that everyone is different, and that it has to be, individualized for the person. So that's actually, I'm going to probably, that what Lena has said there was probably a lot for you to take in. So I will put that as a comment after this live stream or somewhere in the live stream. Emma says, I'm following a fruitarian, Donnie Myers. Please follow his journey. It's interesting. Okay. Thank you for that. That is, I will do that, Emma. And let me just get this notification down the road. No, it's going to sit there. Right. Okay, so let's go. So the question is, which is best, juice or smoothie? You know what my answer is? Neither. And anyway, why does it have to come down to one or the other? Actually, neither is best. Neither is best. The juicing or doing smoothies is ultimately a short-term solution to get around an issue that shouldn't have happened in the first place if we're eating enough fruit and vegetables, if we're eating the whole fruit. So a whole foods plant-based diet full of fresh fruit is best, fresh fruit and vegetables. But if you are not getting, as I obviously wasn't, enough of that, probably because I eat out a lot and I tend to have a lot of vegan processed food. So if you're not getting the full foods that you should be getting with the fruit and vegetables, if you're not getting that full effect through and all the nutrients, then juices and smoothies are actually a really good idea to help take the weight off the digestive system for a while and let it just just take it easy for a while and still get the nutrients in that you weren't getting otherwise. With that in mind, you can still add juices and smoothies to your whole foods plant-based diet in order to supplement as a beautiful way of supplementing rather than tablets of that, so that you're still getting the amount that we should be getting each day. So juicing works because it's an easier way to eat your fruit and veggies, especially if you're not getting enough already. So, hey, Paige, thanks for joining. I didn't even see your comment there. I was reading Emma's and I missed yours. Thanks very much. So let's just, now the other thing is, it can get a bit complicated. Thanks to my friend Lena, she's sent me the simple, proper food combining chart, but I also have, I've seen so many of these. This can also these sort of things also need to be taken into account so that you're not just throwing everything in there without knowing the effect that each fruit and vegetable is having on each other. So that's, I'm not sure where that chart originates from, whether it's from Dr. Morse or not, but that's another thing that's important to research when you're doing this. So my favorite juice has become, well, it always was carrot, celery, and apple, but now I've added, here we go, hang on, see if we can get this on camera without it falling off. Okay, so you're looking at carrot, apple, celery in the background. I've been putting some broccoli in. I've been putting cucumber into the juice, and ginger into the juice. Now I've also been putting in sometimes orange and sometimes a red apple instead of a green apple. So that's getting some more greens there in the juice with a minimum of fruit. So it's been increasing the vegetables versus the fruit ratio. So that's my favorite juice, which I'm going to make one up in a minute. And my favorite smoothie, the green smoothie, which I've been doing for about a year now, and I've just tweaked it a little bit, is kale, celery, cucumber. So that's sort of the three main things. Then there's a fruit which usually I have a red papaya in there, and then sometimes I'll have pear instead of that, and then turmeric and ginger. So that's sort of the main things there, but also throw in carrot and beetroot as well. Lindy says, I have been experiencing bad skin problems despite being very dedicated to whole foods and no junk foods, heaps of fruit and veggies. I have it in my genes, but disappeared after I went vegan, but has come back now for some unknown reason. That's, yes, actually, Lindy, that is interesting. And if it might actually, yeah, it is a symptom of something. I'm almost thinking it'd be worth visiting an Ayurvedic specialist to see what area is out of balance in your body. So it could be something to look at, because they will look at I can't remember the Ayurvedic terms, but if there's dampness in the body, it will come out in certain ways, and that may be one of the ways it comes out. But yes, so and I've done that a few times, and the information is very interesting. I don't think that I don't think they're very supportive of raw diets though, so it might be a difficult one, that one. But definitely maybe Lindy speak to a nutritionist. I'll put you in touch with Lena. And yes, after the live stream. Okay, and also, of course, there's Amanda Benham in Brisbane. There's Colleen Checkatree down Lindy, near where you live. My good friend Colleen, the vegan naturopath, and of course, there's the Amanda Benham, the accredited practicing dietitian in Brisbane. Both highly recommend them. So what have I been having before I wind up this live stream, and before I put together a juice for you live? In the morning, I get up and I've always had lemon, juice of lemon, put it in warm water with turmeric and ashwagandha. So ashwagandha is a recent thing, and I've been doing that for energy, and it's good. I find it really good. So ideally, during a juice, you probably shouldn't be using ashwagandha at all, but that's what I'm doing. Like to live on the edge. And then at 5 a.m. or so, when I'm making up my juices and smoothies, I usually do like yesterday, I had a carrot, apple, and celery juice at 5 a.m., just a small one before I went to work. At work, I take 2 flasks with me at work, and although you're meant to drink your juice and your smoothie, they say ideally within 15 minutes. A smoothie can last for hours. So if you take smoothies with you, that's better. If you take juices, you're meant to drink them before they aerate, which happens fairly quickly. Lindy says raw diet fixed Freely's gut issues after 8 years of problems. She did try Ayurvedic, but with no success. I might consult Colleen. Yes, well, Colleen is she's very handy to you there, Lindy, so highly recommend her. So the smoothie, so yesterday I took 2 smoothies to work. I took a fruit smoothie and a green smoothie. Today I took a green smoothie and a juice, so that I sort of came back on the smoothies. So yesterday I had a fruit smoothie of banana, pear, and melon, and just drank that during the morning. And I also had my green smoothie: kale, cucumber, celery, red papaya, carrot, beetroot, ginger, and turmeric. What a combination! And today was pretty much the same: the lemon water in the morning, and then the green smoothie, and then I had a great juice. It was carrot, green apple, red apple, celery, cucumber, broccoli, orange, and ginger. Wow! And yeah, tonight I've had a smoothie with, as I mentioned earlier, strawberries, blueberries, melon, banana. I've had a juice again of carrot, apple, and celery, and a few other things. And so that's the main things I wanted to share. That's the main points. What I'm going to do is zoom in this camera. There we go. We zoomed in. Get off my comfy seat, the comfy chair, and let's put a lovely little juice together. You can join me whilst I juice. I've deliberately got it over here because it's probably not as noisy for you. So using my trusty Breville. Gotta love the Breville. That sounds like product placement, doesn't it? But just like that. You know what I forgot? Oh, ginger. I forgot the ginger. How could I have forgotten the ginger, eh? Okay. I think that's looking good. Let's check that out. Let's check that out here live on the Vegan Hour. Oh, how do I get it around the right way? Hang on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's going to be good. Oh, man, actually, let's just zoom out a bit because I'm standing. That is awesome. That is really awesome. And Ray mentions get the vitamin C in for Lindy, and Lindy's asking how much. That's a good suggestion also, Ray. High dose of vitamin C is really good for many things. So guys, thanks for Lindy and Ray. You can continue that conversation after this live stream. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching this live stream about juicing versus smoothies. I hope it's given you some inspiration to maybe look at doing a reboot or a fast or a detox or a cleanse or whatever you want to call it, just to try and get all the nutrients back in, just to try and help cleanse the body out a bit, try and give the digestive system a bit of a rest if you've been overdoing it, which is all of the above for me. And thank you, Ray, for getting in touch with Lindy to help with the vitamin C situation. So, guys, if you have any questions, sure, send me a message or whatever, and I'll share with you anything I've missed on the live stream. But there's plenty of information out there. I certainly recommend the information that I found from Food Matters. They had really well detailed stuff on there. I also like Joe Cross's stuff, and I might share some links actually. So thank you for watching. Live vegan and save lives, and I'll speak with you guys soon. Good night.